Hi, everybody. Welcome into today's show here on JTV. Appreciate you watching on online, on TV, clips on our Facebook, wherever it is, listening on the podcast. We appreciate it. It's really good to be a Green Bay Packers fan right now. Big win yesterday, 38-10. That was an awesome game.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I knew you were going to be pretty darn happy. I'll say that.
I didn't expect it to be that much of a blowout, even with a couple stars out.
Right.
But it was, so I was happy. I'm David Rice. That's Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hello. Busy week, but usually the week of Thanksgiving is
Tell me
always
about
pretty
it.
crazy. Yeah.
We owe a great weekend we had in football, and we'll get to it later in the show. I mean, look at all these upsets in college football.
I know. It's crazy. I could not believe going through the list and guess who's in the second spot of the SEC right now? Georgia's back. I'm telling you, Georgia's back.
Well, you know what? They're still not going to win the SEC championship.
No, don't
game.
say that. Don't say that. I need
Texas will beat them.
I hope not. Hoping for an upset.
But you never know. A&M just got upset. That was an
crazy.
unbelievable. Did you watch that?
I didn't get to see all of it. I saw the ending, but I didn't get to see all of it.
I don't know how I stayed up for it, but I watched like the whole fourth quarter and all four overtimes live. So I stayed up and watched the whole thing, flipping back and forth between all the channels, and I saw a little score bug at the ticker at the bottom. It said, blah, 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 however many minutes left in the fourth, and then it was tied. And I'm like, I better flip back to that game. And I stayed there glued to the couch because it's like, and then four overtimes. And then he drops it at the end. He drops it.
Unbelievable. What a game.
Oh, and fans are storming the field now before the games are even over. That happened like three times yesterday.
That's what I was about to say. That happened last week as well. I think it was. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
We will get to that. And so we had good college games Saturday. We had some really good NFL games Sunday. Some upsets even.
The freaking
Titans.
Panthers. Well, I was gonna say the Panthers almost upset Mahomes and the Chiefs. It was so close.
Yeah. I'm surprised Kansas City didn't get more penalty flags than they normally do in that game because it was close with Carolina. Start throwing the flags out everywhere for them. But and we had a good high school football game Saturday. Lumen Christi is how we start today's show. 35-6 over Marine City. Lumen won the semifinal over Marine City Saturday afternoon at Novi. Running back Cadell Williams showed why he's a Division I level player. On just 17 carries, get this, Adam, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns on 17 carries.
That is so nuts. That's Derrick Henry levels of dominance right there.
Williams is now at 38 touchdowns this season and 2,291 yards.
Oh, my goodness.
Now 33rd all-time for a single season in an MHSA history. Only one other Jackson area running back, unless if you've already looked, has had a better season. You want to take a guess?
Was it a J High running back?
Nope. And it was not Kari.
Oh. Who is it?
From my high school, Grass Lake.
Whoa.
2008, Skylar Stoker, legend, 42 touchdowns.
Oh, good gracious. That's
and
nuts.
I think he is like number 26 or 7. So even if Cadell gets 4 touchdowns at Ford Field, he'll already jump up 4 or 5 more
That's
spots.
what I was about to ask. So the touchdowns at Ford Field, that all counts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then what running back am I thinking of? I'm thinking about that one from
Jay High running back?
Yeah, from this would have been 5 years ago, I think.
5 years
He ended up going to Ferris State.
Oh,
No.
Micah Kretzinger.
No, not.
He plays for Ferris.
That might be, but I'm thinking of. I'll try to remember who it is, but.
Dorian
Riley. Yes, that's who it is. That's so funny. Good job.
I don't think he has anything like high in the records, but he was really good,
he was
by the way.
Awesome. I remember having so much fun. That was my first year here watching him play. It was just like, this guy's way better than everyone else. It was just like, he was so dominant.
Until former J High student athlete, now Lumen athlete, Cadale Williams
Right.
comes along.
And now I believe Cadale is the best one I've seen. Best running back I've seen in the area, personally.
Since I started here, this is my, can't believe, but 6th football season
Wow.
here already. This will be my 7th basketball. Probably the best running back I've seen ever since I started here, because I wasn't here when Curry played, would have to be Cadale Williams.
Wow. Yeah, that's high praise, and it's he deserves it. He's a
I was
beast out
even
there.
too young to be like in the student section to watch Skylar Stoker in 2008. So, best player in general. God, that's tough
Yeah, man.
because. Let's see.
I mean, Antonio Bass is the best player in Jackson history. So,
Yes, yeah, no doubt.
it's one of those things where it's just like we will say all this with a grain of salt because it's hard to compare people from to players that have played years and years ago. But
2004 to 24.
it's different. It's different. Even just 20 years in that span. But yeah, I never got to sit and watch him play.
Right.
Game in and game out like I have with Cadale. So
Best player I've seen though since I started.
yeah, period.
Whether in person or one of our teams that we've seen on film or something. I don't know.
I have a pick, but it's not football. I have a pick, but it's basketball. Can you guess who?
Wait, I think I know what you're gonna say,
Who?
and I might have the same answer. Basketball, from Ypsilanti Lincoln, Amani Bates.
Yeah, he's in terms of just like, and those are the two main sports. Obviously, we do hockey and baseball as well, but like those are the two ones where we see the most games.
Right.
And I've never seen a player like him. Watching that place, watching the Spring Arbor sell out that building to watch him play and see how he played. It was just like, yeah, this guy is an NBA player. And then that's what's crazy too. It's like to see what he's doing right now and to see like that's the gap, dude. That's the gap between high school players and good high school players, and then good high school players and NBA players. Like
to maybe Division II or I
Right.
players if you're that good.
right.
And then NBA.
Right. It's
Way up here.
crazy.
And real quick, because I know I want to get back to Lumen here. I know we're going way off.
And it's an interesting discussion.
Well, we need to fill time today. But anyways, I think because I started, this is crazy to say, but Amani Bates is only a year older than me. So this is my 7th basketball season coming up, it will be. So I commented my first game as an 8th grader. So think about this. J High, my only second game ever I've done with JTV. It was with Joel and Josh at J High when Ypsi Lincoln and Monty came to J High.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were at that game or not.
I wasn't at that game. I was at the one that was at Spring Arbor for highlights. I was able to see that, but that was it.
That was, I think, either later that season or the next season.
I think it was the next season because I think you had one season in your belt basketball before I started.
Okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
December 2018 and then 2019 in the winter 2019.
Yeah.
But like watching him only be a year older than me, and we already knew he was going to be a generational talent and be in the NBA. That was ridiculous.
Right.
And more people filled out Jackson High's gym than Spring Arbor.
Wow. Yeah. Because
Packed.
probably could fit more people. Wow. That is so nuts.
But anyways, back to Lumen though. Skylar Stoker was the only other player who's done better, 42 touchdowns. Sophomore wide receiver Wes Learned hauled in an 80-yard touchdown pass from Timmy Crowley in the first half to really spark the offense because at the very first part of the game, both teams, not just Lumen, but nobody was doing anything. Nobody moved the ball well. Cadale was going to have a 5th touchdown on the first drive, like on the 2nd or 3rd play of the game, 57-yard run down to the 2-yard line. He gets the handoff, and he bobbled it and gets hit. Ball goes flying up. Marine City fumbles and picks it up.
No.
They didn't run it back, but picked it up. And right away, it was like, this is going to be a tough day.
Yeah.
It's only 7-0 after the first. I'm like, this isn't what we had on our bingo card for today.
Right.
And then Cadale, if you look at our top plays here, 66-yard touchdown. 62-yard touchdown, 60-yard touchdown. All like right back to back with each other in the highlights there.
Yeah, they're
untouched too.
Marine
As soon as you got
City-
the ball, it was a draw up the middle too. Not
Oh.
even a stretch, a draw up the middle, gone.
Oh man,
Done.
Marine City's gonna see him in their nightmares. I have a feeling.
If they haven't already.
Yeah,
if they haven't already.
Yeah.
So the Titans head to Ford Field for the 17th time in school history and look to win their 14th title. They will take on Lansing Catholic on Friday, day after Thanksgiving, 4 o'clock in Detroit, and unfortunately, you can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network.
Is that okay? So it is officially on there, and it's. I remember us talking about that earlier in the season. Makes it interesting. High school football brought to you by FanDuel.
Gamble on it. Gamble on it.
But you're not. No, but no, we can't say that you can, but the advertisers can.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody should be allowed to say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm
But-
with you.
And just don't have it on FanDuel. That's my
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Or just how about we just rename it to something different? Why can't we get back to the days? Fox Sports Net. Do you remember that? And Fox Sports
Yes.
Detroit. Do you remember? Like
Yes.
that was
because
the
you know
time.
how much. I know we still have to get the post game interviews. I'll get that in a second.
We're
Again.
just going off on tangents.
But really quick here, Fox Sports Network. This will lead into it. You know how much I love wing T or full house T offense, right?
Oh yeah.
I was trying to set up a playbook. This is related to it, so I'll get there.
Okay.
I was trying to set up a custom playbook in either NCAA or Madden full house. I eventually picked
Figured
out
it
a team's playbook,
Nice.
Army.
Yeah, that's good.
But I was looking up on YouTube, if somebody's already done that before. So I was searching it up, and the first thing that came up was old footage from like the 1997 or 8 MHSA state championship game when it was called Fox Sports Net.
And that was the one that was
Belding, mid
Yes,
90s,
I've seen
wing
this.
T.
That was at wasn't that at the Silverdome?
Silverdome,
So
too.
I saw this. This got recommended to me like a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago at this point. And
Mm-hmm.
I sat there and watched like Trevor Thompson, like super young Trevor Thompson out there and stuff like that. Like
Young
it was
Shep and
it was
Trevor
so
Thompson.
Cool. It was so cool to see them. But
It
yeah.
was Belding, Zeeland West,
Okay.
95 or 6.
Wow.
And both defenses were unbelievable. It was like 6-6 in the third quarter.
Oh my God.
Full house, running,
That is so
a lot
sick.
of quarterback keepers. So, anyways, that was that. Yes, that I do miss it being Fox Sports Network
Yeah.
or Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah,
Bring
that-
back Mario and Rod. Quit punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
Throwing chairs at
It
people.
was weird.
Whatever
listening-
happened.
It's weird whenever you listen to a Marlins broadcast, hearing Mario and Rod Allen, excuse me.
He
hearing
still
him-
does Marlins?
Yeah, he does Marlins color, but yeah, it's surprising.
Well, Lansing Catholic, who they're going to play on Friday at Ford Field, they do not run wing T, so this will not be a fourth game in a row. Lumen
okay.
will play against the T.
Finally, they get.
They have
somebody
a
else.
spread. They are going to air it out. Air it out like crazy.
Should be fun.
So, Coach Brogan mentioned that after the game, Josh Brigette from JTV Sports talked to the coach, Herb Brogan, and the quarterback, Timmy Crowley.
Josh Brigette here with head coach Herb Brogan. Coach, first of all, your 420th career win. It's a meaningful one. It takes you back to Ford Field. Just talk about what this win meant for you and this team today.
Well, I mean, anytime you have a chance to play Ford Field, it's a big ball game, and I think that was reflected early on when you saw the nerves that we opened the game with. That just shows the importance of the ball game, I think. But we settled down. We played great defense. Tony and Shane did a great job, preparing them. And I think the offensive line and Dan Horn's group every week, comes to play. And if you give Cadell some space, he's going to make plays.
Coach, talk about slow start to the offense and the way Marine City played early on. Timmy Crowley, who's been an anchor for you in the last 2 years, but this year especially, gets going with an 80-yard touchdown pass. Just to get your offense going, what would that mean?
Well, it was, I thought, a really good play in Timmy's part because that wasn't the primary receiver. He found, he found a little hole there, bought some time, and delivered a perfect throw. So we rely on him. He's, he's a steady force in there, and we don't ask him to make a lot of plays just by the design of our offense, but when he needs to make one, he does.
He certainly does. And then the guy who used to making plays for you all the time, Cadell Williams, had a really big game, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, puts him at 38 touchdowns in the season. Really historic season for him and for your team. Can you just talk about his performance behind that great offensive line?
I mean, it's the questions and the answers are the same every week because this is the way he's played every week. He made a couple of really big plays today, but I think Sean did a really good job setting some of that stuff up, and the offensive line knocked people out of the way. And like I said, if you give him a little bit of space, he's going to make plays.
Your defense was really good today. All throughout this game, they played really well. Can you just talk about their performance and your preparation for Marine City?
Well, I think it's really difficult to play against good wing T teams, and for the second week in a row, we really put together a great defensive effort by the kids, great defensive game plan by the coaches, and we executed it. We made some big fourth down stops, and we gave them a few drives, but we never let them cash in.
At Ford Field next week, you're going to play the winner of Lansing Catholic Boyne City. That game's not over yet, so we don't know who you're playing, but what do you know about both those teams, and what do you expect?
Well, we know more about Lansing Catholic, and it looks to me like they're going to probably win. They're a spread team. We've run into 3 wing T teams in a row, and things will change dramatically next week. They're going to spread the field out, and they're going to throw the ball. They got a great quarterback, and it's just going to call for a different type of effort, but one we got to be ready for.
Titans are going back to Ford Field for the 17th time in program history here with head coach Herb Brogan. Congrats, Coach.
Thanks, Josh.
Josh Brigetta with JTV Sports here with senior quarterback Timmy Crowley. Timmy, you guys just won semifinal, heading back to Ford Field for the 3rd year in a row. 35-6 win here over Marine City. Talk about your performance and your team's play today.
Real credit to the defense in the first half for stepping up. We a little slow start offensively, but picked up in the second half. Everyone, through all 3 phases, played really well today.
Slow start offensively, but it got kick-started with an 80-yard touchdown pass that you had there to get us going. Talk about that pass, what you saw, and your receiver able to bring it down.
Great protection. I had all day back there. Just let the play develop, and Wes, sophomore receiver, really stepping up, making a big play to get the offense going.
Cadell Williams had 350 yards. Your offensive line played tremendous for him. Just talk about his efforts tonight.
Real credit to the offensive line and Isaac for blocking for him, but it's Cadell. What do you expect? Nothing less. Always has a good game, big performance. It's fun watching him run.
Your defense really was stout today. It played great. Really made this very difficult for Marine City. Talk about their performance.
They've been getting better week by week, just grinding it out. Had a little hiccups start of the season, but they've been balling out and been playing really good.
Ford Field is no stranger for you. You've been there before. You've played there before. Talk about what it's like to go back to play for another state championship.
It means everything. This team has never done it before, so it's fun to see this team grow all year and get back there.
Timmy Crowley, starting quarterback for your Luma Christi Titans. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So thanks to our whole crew. Josh Brigette was there at Novi. I was there. Noah Baker was there.
I was going to be there, but I was sick. I would have loved to have shown up, though. But it would not have been a pretty sight if I would have been on that car
Well,
ride. It would have looked
if
like
Noah can make it with
you would have had
the flu and throw up at Mug and Bob's, I'm just saying, nothing's impossible.
If we would have, and I know where we were meeting up with Josh, there might have been problems at that station. So that's all I'm saying. It's probably a good thing. Yeah, probably a good thing. So, but
I just die laughing every time I think about his Mug and Bob story because I've been to that. No, anyways, I'm not going to go off about it.
We'll have to have him tell that story sometime on this show, I think.
I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, it'd be funny. It'd be funny. The audience will want it.
Gotta give a thanks. Great pictures from our photographer, John Lucas, as well.
Very
you can
good
check
pictures.
that out.
Yeah, they were sick.
JTV.tv. So we'll be there, Ford Field Friday, 4 o'clock. And they take on Lansing Catholic. So that'll be... I think it'll be a really good game. Some people in the building still think it's going to be the same results as it has been the last few weeks.
I hope so. I think...
I said that last week, too. Last Wednesday show, I said it's going to be different this week than it has been the last couple of weeks. No, it was not.
Well, I really, really hope that Lumen can pull it out. I said since the beginning of the season, I thought this team was ready for Ford Field and would get there. They at least are there.
Yeah, after they lost that game to Notre Dame
I
Prep.
was not worried. I asked
you
you
said
if you
they were
were,
going
and
to win
you
all
said
the way.
absolutely not. I remember you saying like, no, I'm not worried. And
Yeah.
I said I thought it was going to make them a stronger team. And
Because
I think it
Notre
has.
Dame Prep was the number 1 team in Division 5 at one point
Yeah.
this year.
Right.
So clearly nobody, at home that was saying, whoa, they
Yeah,
finally
it's
lost.
like, all
well,
right.
because they played Division 5,
Right.
the number 1 team.
Yep.
So, and if you want to read everything that's going to be happening Friday, subscribe to JTV Sports. And every Tuesday morning, you get the email sent to you, everything we've covered with your school that week. You might even get a clip of this show in your email. Who knows?
Yeah.
So subscribe for how much?
0.0.
1. No, I'm
One.
kidding. It's 0.00.
1 cent. No.
One,
Zero.
a penny a month.
That's right.
It's still worth it than other places that have paywalls. And speaking of Kari, we mentioned him already a couple times. Monday Morning's podcast, latest episode has Kari Willis on there. I still have yet to finish the episode.
Oh man, he's got some.
I know,
He's
I
got
know.
great nuggets in there and just different things. You always ask me, you got any nuggets? So he had tons. Like
I
there's a lot
had
of things
nuggets
for him to
today.
say.
Shout out to McDonald's.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's right.
but no, he does have. The parts I have watched. It's
He's
good.
awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. I can't wait to have him on again. Hopefully, we can have him on this show or something. We can do something with him in the
Stay
future.
tuned for that.
because it'd be fun. He just his mind is so sharp for football and for everything. So
Right. So Monday mornings, you can watch that online on our website, jtb.tv, and then wherever you get your podcasts. So we still have top plays, even though we're just down to 1 game. We have our top plays of the week. 35-6. We had a lot of plays to pick from.
Yeah.
So we'll have our top plays of the week from Pataki Orthodontics when we come back on JTV. Welcome back here on JTV. David Rice, thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. Do you notice I'm not wearing the hat today?
yeah, no hat. What's going on?
I forgot it at home.
oh no!
I know. You know what?
I was gonna say, you got that
I got
one on
this
still.
one right here because I came in wearing my Packers hat this morning. So that's why. I got the headphones over it. I can't wear the hat right now. I just realized that. I'm an idiot. But still, thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. MyInsuranceCircle.com, Jackson, Battle Creek. They'll take care of you. So thank you to the Circle. And thank you to Pataki Orthodontics, Grass Lake, Go Warriors, Hillsdale, and Coldwater. A great smile, always in style, at Pataki Orthodontics. Ready to get started with our top plays of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, at number 5, just to pretty much keep it rolling for Lumen Christie, number 15, Adam Fuller grabs an INT, an interception for the Titans defense. Marine City trying to do at that point everything they could to even have a slight chance to get back into the game. A full house, there's a difference between wing tee and full house tee. Full house got the 3 backs. Wing tee's got like the Army, the 2 on the side. Marine City, full house, tries to air it out on a deep pass, and you know how often that works.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Didn't work.
So Adam Fuller with a pick for the Lumen Christie Titans. And right before that, Cadale Williams, one of his 4 touchdowns that game, untouched, 7:38 left in the third quarter at number 4, 60-yard touchdown run. That made it 28-0 with 7:38 left in the third quarter. Just dominance. So that's at number 4. At number 3, the next play right after the interception, another touchdown by Cadale Williams. Go figure, right? Number 3.
I was gonna say, I think this is gonna be the theme of today's top plays.
Yeah, 62-yard touchdown. So that made it the 35 for the running clock. And number 2, what do you know? I'll let you introduce this one because you know what?
I don't even have to look at the play, and I can tell you it's a long run and a touchdown for Cadale Williams. Let me see.
That's at number 2.
Oh, look at that, 66-yard touchdown.
66 yards. The very first play of scrimmage from the second half to make it 21-0. So that's at number 2. we're blowing right through these. I mean, it's the same result.
That's true.
I mean, it's a historic season for a historic player.
Yeah.
And at number 1, this sparked the offense because it was very sloppy back and forth at the beginning. And then Timmy Crowley, 80-yard bomb to wide receiver, sophomore number 27, Wes Learned. Crowley was under pressure. Pressure was starting to collapse, get to him in the pocket. He wasn't even the intended receiver on that play. Throws it up, comes down with it, shakes off the defender, gone for 80 yards. So, Timmy Crowley with our number 1 play. It's our top plays of the week from Pataki Orthodontics. A great smile is always in style at Pataki. I wonder how many plays total we've had so far this year with either Crowley or Cadell.
I can't imagine. That's got to be 3/4 of our
So
plays.
when we get to our top plays of the year, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be at least 10 to 15.
Which, that's soon. If anybody wants to know, we are going to do top plays of the year soon.
That will be soon.
Got to get through Ford Field first. So
Right, because you never know. Maybe he
there
could
might be a
have
play.
another 66 yard, 62
Hey,
yard, and 60
we
yard
might see the
touchdown.
number 1 play of the year at Ford Field. We don't know until it happens. So
Could be. It's hard to top plays that we've already seen.
man, there were
this
some
year.
there were some really good plays this season. So yeah.
But when we come back, famous Jameis doing Snow Angels on Thursday
He's
night.
back. Famous Jameis is back.
And I said don't watch because it was going to be a horrible game.
Ends up being awesome.
Famous Jameis when we come back on JTV. Welcome back here on JTV. Remember last week on Wednesday's show, Adam, when I said don't watch the Thursday night game because it's going to be so bad?
What happened with the I cannot believe that game was awesome. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it snowed that much in a 10-minute span.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was so fast.
And I can't believe the Browns won.
Oh, I'm happy though. As a rooting for the Ravens this year, I'm happy.
Well, I'm just happy because I like Jameis.
He's
that's
a
all.
fun guy to root for.
Yeah. He had his teddy bear with him on the post game doing the Snow Angels.
So
He's
good.
enjoying life.
Yeah.
And you know what? Browns fans should be happy that they don't have Deshaun Watson out there because he is so bad and he makes about $200 million too much.
Yeah, could you imagine next year if they just trot out Jameis as their starting QB?
They should.
Hey, they could, man. Especially with they're going to be paying Watson. I assume they're going to have to pay him whatever at the end of this. So they're not going to have much money. So you might as well.
Right. It could be even worse. You could be the Giants and have $20 million of dead cap money that you can't use right now because you let him go.
Right.
So
But you got Tommy Cold Cuts out there.
Tommy Cold Cuts,
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Cutlets,
Tommy Cutlets.
Cold
Tommy
Cuts,
Cold Cuts.
whatever.
I like both.
Yeah. And I like his agent too. Remember his
Yeah,
agent
that's
made all
right.
the headlines? Make a deal here. Lions did their thing. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a wider score gap there.
I would say the fourth quarter you had the opportunity of that happening. The reason it didn't happen was, you had the Lions come down to the field, get down to goal line, turn it over. And then you just had that fourth quarter was just a bunch of back and forth, not moving the ball much. They didn't have much against our defense. Our defense pretty much stopped them every way they wanted to go. I mean, they had a couple completions in that fourth quarter, and then they just got stopped. So it was just, they really didn't have a chance. But think, if we would have scored on that touchdown, you would have talked about, 7 more points on top of that. We'd be in the 30s compared to that. So, that one touchdown
Would have been
would have made a
31 to
difference.
6.
Right. So that one touchdown would have made that score look a little bit bigger. But this has to be one of the best offenses we have ever seen in NFL history. This has to be top 15, top 20 offenses ever.
Yeah.
It's pretty,
Obviously,
it's
I
pretty
hate
crazy.
the Lions, but there's no denying
Yeah,
that.
and then look at our defense. Our defense is the weakest point of our team, and look at what they've been able to do over the past 3 games. Sure, the competition has
Without
without
Aiden
Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, in one of those games,
without Anzalone.
Yeah,
Without Hutch.
exactly.
Without
Zadarius Smith was just recently added, so he didn't play that first one.
and without Carlton Davis got
Yeah,
hurt
that's
yesterday,
right,
too.
that's
That's
right.
another big piece.
Ugh, it just kept happening.
I'll tell you what, another team that lit up the scoreboard, though.
Carolina. Oh.
Well, you know, I didn't have them written down here. Carolina,
That was close, man.
they've been so. Why all of a sudden the one time they just happened to play Kansas City, the one
Yeah.
time they showed up to work?
But that's the NFL, man. That's the NFL. Any given week, any given Sunday, any team can win.
Any given Sunday, Bryce Young can actually show up to
Yeah.
work.
Right.
I was shocked.
I was shocked.
I was watching Red Zone, and late in the fourth quarter, they had cut back to that game. I'm like, wait, there's still a game
why
here?
Is this, why is this happening?
And Carolina's going down, and then they get the touchdown in the two. And I don't ask why, but I have, because I had Pacheco at the start of the year. He's not back till this next week, but he's been on IR. So I've had a mix of different guys at running back. So I have Rico Dowdle, who I don't even want to talk about that because that was just horrible. They should have never won. And I had Chuba Hubbard from Carolina.
Chuba.
So when he got the touchdown in the two, that kind of officially made me like pull away a little bit from Andy in the fantasy matchup. So it was like, they're going to beat the Chiefs and I'm going to win in fantasy thanks to a Panthers player. I never thought I would say that, but I did.
Well, I got to say for me, probably we'll see after today because we have a Monday game, but this might be the best fantasy week for a team of mine ever.
In history?
Saquon Barkley got me 46 points last night.
He had what, 4 touchdowns?
He had
3?
Let me see, because one of them, or no, he had 2 touchdowns, but he had 4 receptions, 47 receiving yards, and 255 yards on the ground. And it's like that with DJ Moore, who went off. Jahmyr Gibbs had 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 25 points for me. Like, my team balled out, and I have 161 points, and I have 2 guys left.
161. Who do you have tonight?
I have Derrick Henry, and I got Lad McConkey both playing, because somebody I had that was a receiver was on bye, I think. But
You know what? They better not give it to Henry. I already won,
Oh,
but I
I would
have
love it.
Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers tonight.
you're gonna need. Well, I got help from
And you have Derrick Henry.
I do. I got
so we're
help
both
from-
happy either way.
for sure. I got help from Noah though, because he started Brock Purdy, who did not play, and he started Devontae Smith, who did not play. So
You know, a win is a win.
win is a win, and I will take it. But yeah,
Especially for
pretty
me,
crazy.
I need it more than you do.
Hey, this makes 10 straight wins. Definitely the best fantasy, and I played fantasy for a while. This is the best stretch of fantasy football that I've played for it to be 10 straight wins. I've
Because
never done
you're
that.
what, 10-2 now?
I'm 10-2.
You started 0-2?
I started 0-2.
And you've won 10
And I've won
in a
10
row.
in a row. Sounds like the Lions. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like the Lions.
Adam put the team on his
the
back
team-
like Greg
Yeah,
Jennings.
just like Greg Jennings.
10 in a row. But I tell you what, a team that lit up the scoreboard, though, was the Green Bay Packers.
Woo, yeah, they did, man.
I mean, obviously I knew ahead of time, but I kind of knew they were going to beat the Niners. But because Purdy was out, right, and so was Trent Williams, Kittle was questionable. McCaffrey hasn't been doing anything since he came back, really, not much. And we held Debo to 1 catch yesterday,
I mean, you guys just straight up dominated them for the whole game.
start to finish.
Yep.
Domination.
Kind of shows you how important every single member of that 49ers team really is
Right.
to make that team work.
Because some people would still say, oh, even though they didn't have Purdy and Trent Williams, they still have George Kittle and McCaffrey.
They still got guys, but it's just everything has to come together with that team.
And they still have Debo.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because they have the best defender in the league, Bosa, right? They didn't have Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the league.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Brock Purdy. But you know what?
The best, no, I'm just joking. The best quarterback in the league. No.
The best 7th round draft pick in
Yeah,
NFL history.
Whoa. Didn't Tom Brady get? Oh, no, he got
6th round.
6. Okay.
That's because they didn't have 7
That's
then.
right. That's right.
But I mean, I just didn't expect it though to be 38-10. And by the way, this guy named Josh Jacobs is really, really good.
oh, gosh. gosh, he's so good, dude. Yeah, he's very good.
Now,
that was an upgrade for
the
you
number
guys.
of yards. Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, we got rid of Aaron Jones." Yeah, but we got Josh Jacobs, who's even
Well,
better.
You know, people thought the same thing with the Lions. Like, oh, you guys got rid of Swift and you got rid of Jamal Williams for this one guy that played on the Bears last year and this random draft pick that you guys are going after. And then look at how good those two guys are. Sonic and Knuckles just tearing up the league.
What'd you call him?
Sonic and Knuckles. Have you heard that?
No,
Yeah. So Montgomery and Gibbs are Sonic and Knuckles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was a
You
T-shirt.
learn something new
that you
every
get.
day.
Yeah, dude.
Shows you how much I pay attention. And the Packers, the schedule does not get any easier for them though, because
You guys got us coming up.
well, before that, I only want to look one game at a
That's true.
time.
Yeah,
dude.
good. Yep.
Coming up Thursday night, Thanksgiving, Miami coming, to Lambeau. I like our weather advantage in that game.
I would say you guys are,
and I
it's
know
not a
Miami
free
won
win.
in a blowout yesterday, but they played New England, so
Right.
that doesn't count because they are just awful. So I think Green Bay wins that game too. That it would be 9-3 facing Detroit at Detroit Thursday
Well,
night.
We know you'll be repping all of your Lions gear that you'll be giving.
Oh,
for
I
that.
forgot about that.
It's coming. So you'll be rooting for the Lions. I know that.
Can we not have a show that day?
No, we're having 2 shows that day. How about that? No, I'm joking. No, we're only doing one. But still, no, you're going to be showing up to the show twice wearing that. So I can't wait. Go Lions.
But after the Lions, we play Seattle, who got a big NFC West victory yesterday against the Cardinals. They're only all within one game of each other now, except for the Niners, because now they're 5-6.
And that's
and the Rams. Sorry, because the Rams lost to the Eagles now, they're 5-6. Seattle just beat Arizona.
Yeah, you're right.
So Seattle's in the driver's seat by 1 to 2 games now.
So crazy. That is so crazy. Well, I was going to say that this Seattle Packers game means more to you because your brother is a big Seattle fan. So
Yes, and the last time they played was at Lambeau. I think either 2 or 3 years. It was Wilson's last year with Seattle
yeah.
at Green Bay. We were there at Lambeau, and it started snowing during the game. And, of course, that's a part of the thing there. And it was awesome. It was low scoring, but they shut out Seattle. Green Bay, I think, won 17-0, I think. I'll have to look back at it during the break, but it was 7-0.
Yeah. Ooh.
So that was awesome. And I think I won't be going to a game for the rest of this year, but I think I'll be going there twice next year to Lambeau. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
You got the owners meeting in July. Maybe I'll do my part of the show if we can figure it out
That'd be awesome.
from Green Bay.
Yeah. From
I bet you we could.
From Lambeau Field.
I bet you we could. We'll make it work.
That'd be pretty cool.
Next summer from
There
Green
you go.
Bay. And then probably go there for a game. And then Sunday night, like you said, Saquon, unspeakable.
Yeah.
Just awesome. So he had 245?
Something like that. 255. I think.
255. Well, and because the Rams lost, like I just mentioned, now they're 5-6. Arizona's now 5-6. San Fran's 5-6. Seattle is now 6-5. So, and because they've beaten the Cardinals now, and they've beaten the Niners, they have pretty much a 2-game advantage over
They do.
the rest of the division.
Yeah.
So, and I don't really think even Seattle's that great either. You know what I mean? Compared to the rest of the NFC.
That whole division is not that great, though. So
Right. Well, including them. So
yeah.
it's going to be a mediocre 500 Seattle
That's the thing.
team hosting a playoff game. And because Green Bay's not going to win the North, they're going to go to Seattle or Washington, the way they looked yesterday, and just crush them in the first round. So if Green Bay can keep scoring 38 points a game like this,
Yeah, it's
they
gonna
they won't be beat until they play the
Yeah,
Lions.
you score 38 points every week, you're going to win every week, but there's only a few teams that can do that.
And then college football, even more wild than the NFL yesterday.
Man.
Oh, and by the way, Can Washington sign a new kicker?
Oh my gosh, they need to. What was that coach for Arizona State? The one that was yelling like, "We got kicking tryouts." I think they need to do the same thing because that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Ohio State definitely, exposed Indiana 38-15.
What I expected, what I think a lot of people
Yep.
expected.
Did you see Will Howard's celebration where he lit the
I did
cigarette,
see that.
threw it on the ground,
That was
stomped
so
on
cool.
it,
That was
and
so
Kurt Signetti was
that was so funny.
waving it off. Penn State just barely beat Minnesota 26-25. I didn't watch most of that game until like the
didn't
last 3 minutes. How in the world did that
Yeah,
happen?
that's crazy that it was that close.
As much as I like Army and I use their offensive playbook, clearly it didn't work at Yankee Stadium against Notre Dame.
We knew
they
Notre
got
Dame.
crushed.
Yeah, we knew Notre Dame was the better team there. As fun as it is to
Right,
root
but I
for
didn't
Army.
expect it to be 49-14.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Alabama lost again, 24-3 to unranked Oklahoma. But you know what? Because ESPN and the College Football Playoff Committee are biased, Alabama will still get in with 3 losses. Watch it happen.
But part of me kind of understands it as well because you want the best
Why?
teams to be in the playoffs.
They're still not better than Indiana.
I think. Oh yeah, they are, dude. I think they are. You think Indiana's a better football team than Alabama?
Alabama lost to 500 Vanderbilt,
Still.
500 Oklahoma,
Still though,
and they lost to who's the third team?
Vanderbilt, Oklahoma.
Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's right. They lost
Tennessee.
to Tennessee.
Who is pretty much out of it
And
now
almost lost to Georgia. Georgia almost came back
too,
on
and
them.
almost had
Yep.
a 4th loss
Yep.
to Georgia.
That being said, I still think they're better.
Okay, are they better than Boise State?
It's hard because I haven't watched like any Boise State games. I
Well,
know
they're
I
on
know
it
the
like
running backs
they're
a
on it
beast.
like 11
And that's the
o'clock
thing.
on
Yeah, that's
CBS
the thing.
Sports
It's
Plus
fun to watch
2.
the run game, but
Yeah.
I think Alabama should still get in at large, but I might have the controversial opinion.
That's not.
I want Georgia against Tennessee, or I want Alabama versus Tennessee. I want Alabama versus Georgia. I want Alabama versus Texas. I don't really need Texas versus Boise State for them to blow them out by 40. I'd rather have. But
Well,
that's why we
other
have the
than
playoffs.
Alabama, in my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen anyways. Because Indiana or Boise State, if Colorado would have won, I would mention their name here too. But they're out
Yeah,
of it
but they're
now.
out.
But let's say Colorado won this last weekend, and they're still in contention. Colorado or Boise, and now 3-loss Alabama. That's Indiana. That's what would happen anyways. They would go to Austin and get destroyed by Texas. So that's what's going to happen anyways, regardless. So Ole Miss is out now. Should be.
Gosh, this all just looked good for me for wanting Georgia to be in the SEC title game. This pretty much did it for me.
How was
Because-
Billy Napier doing this with Florida 3 weeks in a row?
Dude, I have no idea. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
And Arizona State took down the goalposts before the game was officially over and beat BYU and really screwed up the Big 12 conference title game now. So we
up
have
in the
one
air.
more week and 4 teams still mathematically have a chance,
It's
4
crazy.
to 5.
When you look at percentage chances now, like Arizona State now has the exact same chance of making the playoff as BYU.
Right.
They're both
and
at 20.
BYU's not in now. They're
Right.
done.
Oh, they're officially done. So this must have been this might have been.
BYU is out. Should be. Colorado's out now.
Yeah, this was updated last week. So yeah, you're right. So this was previously they had the same. So
Yeah, so BYU is out. Colorado's out. Ole Miss should be out. SEC bias. Alabama should be out. It's Alabama, so they're not going to be out. Kansas. Good win for Kansas at Arrowhead, beating Prime in Colorado. A lot of people hate on Dion and his locker room speech, and, he wears the shades, and he's this, and that, and he's all that and more. He actually made a really good point in the locker room after the game when he told his players, everything got to your head. We started winning it and going on a streak, and we were going to make the playoffs, and we were all that, and we got humbled. That's exactly what happened by a Kansas team that may or may not even make a bowl game. So their playoff chances are done now because you can't lose to an unranked team.
Right.
Oh, and Alabama lost to 2 unranked teams, and they're still going to get in. So
I think Alabama is on the bubble, though. As much as I would want to put them in the playoffs, I don't think it's a done deal. I think they could potentially still miss. I'd be curious what the percentage chance is.
If Alabama has to be, if they're in still Tuesday night in the rankings, they would have to be at number 12, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 11.
Yeah.
Anything higher than 11,
right,
and they're still in, that's clear.
They would have
it's
to
clear.
Be. Do you think Indiana still makes it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because even though they haven't played anybody besides Ohio State, their only loss still was to another playoff team.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because you can say the same thing about a few other teams in there too.
Right.
Like Texas' only loss was to Georgia.
That's right. The big
You know what
dogs.
I mean? So
could get that rematch. That's going to be an interesting SEC title game rematch, man.
So now if Georgia wins, they're split,
Dude.
1-1.
Oh man, I really want Georgia to win.
They
this
meet in the
SEC.
national championship for a third time.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it?
Iowa State
The Cyclones.
survived.
The Cyclones.
I know, over Utah, 31-28. Illinois. Did you see
Man,
Did you
what?
see the logic at the end of that game by Rutgers?
Dude, I watched that.
What
just
is
a few
wrong
hours
with them?
Dude, I cannot believe that timeout is what messed it all up for them.
Thinking they would ice it, and then
they
you know what?
just-
It's too deep. We're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
They score a touchdown and win.
Yeah, so for everybody at home that didn't see it, it was 4th and I think like 12 or 4th and 14. They were going to kick the field goal.
Long
attempt.
field goal, by the way.
And yeah, they got iced, but then he still kicked it and he definitely missed it. Coach had a second look at it and said, let's just try to go for it on 4th down. They didn't just complete it. They completed it, but they went all the way for a touchdown and won the game off of that play. Crazy moment, man.
That was horrible.
Reminds me of the Chargers Raiders thing from a couple years ago. Do you remember that when like the Raiders were
yeah. Because if they would have tied, both teams would have made it in the playoffs.
Yeah. But because the Chargers called a time, I think it was the Chargers called a timeout. They were just like, screw it, let's just try to win it, and then they did.
Let's ice them.
Yeah.
Instead, the clock would have ran out and it would have ended in a tie,
Yeah,
and both
they would've
teams
got in.
would have been happy.
Right. But then instead,
They were
gone. Chargers out of the playoffs.
This
Head
was
coach
before
got
Jim
fired.
Harbaugh Chargers, so they
Yeah.
were still idiots at the time. Brandon Staley was the coach,
That's right.
who
It was
shouldn't have
before he
another
got
job,
fired.
by the way,
Yep.
because he's terrible. Call timeout. All right, let's ice him. Hopefully he misses. If he does miss, we're still in the playoffs. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
No, that's
They messed you up.
instead. Raiders kicked it. Raiders in, Chargers out, and I don't remember what Al Michaels' call was, and then another team out.
That's so nuts.
So, and then finally Auburn in 4 overtimes.
That might have been the most crazy game of them all this weekend. That finish was wild.
He dropped it on the last play. That
Can't be
was
feeling good.
that's the best college game I've watched all year.
It was
Maybe
it was
besides this year, in the last couple of years.
good. I would love to go back and rewatch it just to be able to see the things I missed and watch the whole game.
That was
you know?
amazing. And to see, I think was it that I know. Arizona State, they ran on the field before. Oklahoma did early. And Kirk Herbstreit and Chris State had enough of it because it's happened to them 3 or 4 times already. And then Auburn, as soon as the ball was dropped,
There they go.
flooded
Yep.
the field. And then the lights go dark and they do like the,
That's really cool when they do
whatever.
that.
Yeah. While everybody's just mauling each other running onto the field. And if you're in the section where the lights aren't on or they're flashing, you can't see.
Yeah, dude.
So when we come back, Jackson College basketball coming up on JTV. Welcome back here on JTV. I still can't believe that 4 overtime game. Just thinking about it, replaying it during the commercial break there over and over and over in my head. It dropped it! He dropped it!
I'll have to go back and, like I said, rewatch that game before I go to bed tonight.
That was awesome. Real quick here, before we go, of course, Tuesday night, Jackson College basketball doubleheader on JTV. The women's are 5-0. They're still undefeated. They will take on Muskegon. They're the second game. The men's kick it off. Will be live at 5:15. They play Albion JV. Will be live at 5:15 with POD and Max Fritz on JTV.
That's right. Unfortunately, you won't be there. You're busy that day with another engagement. But
yeah, tell me about it.
but we're gonna have the crew there.
I wish
You'll
I
be
could at
watching.
least be there.
Yeah, but you'll be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I'm kidding. I'll be watching. We'll be watching that, and then when that's done, the rest of the show will be after. So it'll work out.
That's right. Yeah, and
I'll still be on TV either way.
Yeah, and we got a special show Wednesday, right?
We do. This was the last thing before we go here. Our David Royce Show Thanksgiving special will be Wednesday. We are going to show you, of course, Thanksgiving. Of course, it's about, the food and the family.
And giving thanks.
And giving thanks. Giving thanks that Jordan Love scored 38 points for us, and we're going to do the same thing. We might score 58 on Thursday.
And thank you, Georgia, for holding in there and at least getting to the SEC title game.
And I won't give thanks if Kirk Herbstreit and ESPN decide to throw money and keep Alabama in the playoff. That's not thankful.
But what do we got in store for that?
But it's also about football, too. And our Thanksgiving special, we had a lot of good high school football games this year. So we're going to bring you highlights from, we picked some of the best high school games in our area from this 2024 season. We're going to bring you some highlights and some post-game interviews from that. I'm not going to tell you guys, I dropped my paper, the whole list right now, but we do have really good games on there. One sneak peek, Grass Lake missed the playoffs, 6-3. Ultimately, well, 2 reasons. One, I'm not going to share on the show, but the other big reason was because they lost this game to Napoleon.
That's right. And if I remember correctly, that was a really, really good game. So
it was Napoleon 30-26 final.
Yeah, see, that was a great game.
And then
that was the night. Sorry, that was the night that the Tigers clinched the playoffs. Was that same night during that game? I don't remember who was. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because remember, I was sitting up there trying to shoot the game, but also I had my phone sitting there.
Oh, yeah. And Dan peeked over and saw you. So he called you out on the broadcast. He's like, I see Adam there. I
had to.
Oh, he's watching the Tigers game.
It's for my Tigers. I had to do it.
While we're filming the live football
game. It
still
looked good. It still looked good.
Still was a good game.
Yeah.
And then the Cascades Championship, because it was a historic season for Leslie and for Hanover. And another historic season for the Port, for Springport, their first ever playoff victory. So, and we'll talk about, the Thanksgiving NFL games. 2 of them are just going to be hot garbage. Shabuzi at halftime will be better than the first two games. And then Packers Dolphins. We got a Black Friday game. We have a couple college games on Friday. Lumen Christi plays Friday. So all good stuff coming up. So we'll be here, but we won't be here Wednesday pretty much. So we will talk to you Wednesday. Subscribe to JTV Sports. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you then.